Appreciate you, brother.
And honestly, there's some huge things going on right now, so I'm really happy for the things that's going on because 2025 is on a great fucking start. And to be honest with you, we barely just left the fucking first quarter. We're just in the second quarter of this shit, and we're doing fucking amazing. Are we? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I can't. Hey, my math is off right now because I'm fucking elated with the great vibes in here. That's all I'm saying, man.
Elated.
Yeah.
Elated.
Cheers to the second quarter vibes.
Hell yeah, let me pour it for that, man.
I still got more shots.
Shit, with that said, we have Marcus, of course, and we have Blurred Vizzion in the fucking building, man. And it's all good because my vision still ain't blurry yet, and so it's all good. We in the good hands right now.
Soon come, brother.
Soon come, dog. Let's go, man.
Cheers, bro.
We're gonna cheers, y'all. Cheers. See, that's what when we were talking about Jamaican culture, like I say soon come, just like regular in my
but you can't see.
First of all, that's not Jamaican. Because Jamaicans don't say
soon come.
No,
soon forward, soon circle.
Soon circle.
Yeah.
Well, it gotta be some West Indian. I dated a Jamaican for many years.
I know. That's why. It's girls can say that. Girls can say that.
Soon come.
Soon come. Yes. Girls can say that. Men don't say that.
You gotta pause that.
Yeah, that's a pause that. You're gonna room a whole bunch of soon come. No, dog. Move fast for that, dog.
If you look at our text, there's never no time I'm about to come. No pause.
No.
There's never no text.
Soon forward.
Soon forward. Soon circle. About the circle. Soon forward. Damn.
No.
That's it.
So yeah. So that
No.
That to me is that line between appreciation and appropriation because you see how those little things can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And if you knew Jamaican men, you would be like,
no, I got you.
Soon fall.
Yeah, so it's like, from the outside, we love it because you're trying. We love the effort.
It's not a try. It's just like
it's what you do.
That's what I'm saying. I know I'm saying from the outside, we love to. It's an effort. It's an effort. When it's not on point, it's an effort. And when you're not trying to do it to belittle or to in a derogatory way, we appreciate it. So we appreciate that. But it's like when you're at a certain status and you're doing that, it makes it kind of a little thinner.
Like if Trump came out with a big soon forward.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, he knows somebody. He knows somebody.
Yeah, but it's like we appreciate it.
I'll tell you
but it's like, okay, when do you start drawing the line? At some point, it's cool, but you draw the line at some point if you keep going at certain things.
I work with a bunch of Polish people, right? And this dude came up to me, he dapped me up, and he gave me with the thumbs. And I'm like, who Jamaican do you know?
Oh, he's trying to screw our finger, dog?
Dog. I was like, yo, because if you know Jamaicans, they dap and
it's like this. It's like
it's like that, right?
Yeah.
But he did that to me. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, oh yeah, I used to work with a lot of Jamaicans. So it's like, oh shit, I know you know. Like it's like you know.
If you really want to learn about a culture, just fuck a girl in that culture.
Well, that's what he did. That's
what I'm saying. That's why he could carry on.
I'm very cultured from a lot of cultures.
You're multifaceted.
I'm very cultured.
Shit, man. How you guys doing today, man? Because I like the link of what's going on. You guys are honestly at the tape that y'all was playing. It's fucking phenomenal. And I know we was joking about the white guy producing the beats and all of that. But I'm not gonna lie, bro, like the conversation and just meeting you guys today, I see the dynamics. Right. I see how they mesh very well. It's kind of like bringing 3 different perspectives and making it and molding it into one.
I'm not gonna lie, you two remind me of us. For some reason. Cool. You two remind me of me and him.
Yeah.
You're the one that keeps the balance. He gets turned up to a point where you gotta step in and be like, yo, you gotta be the balance.
Yeah,
I know. Because this is the way that we are. It's not even like turn up to a point. It's like you gotta know him to understand where he's at.
When he's getting too much.
Yeah. Well, my thing is you gotta be open minded. You know, the thing is, in order for the world to become a better place, everybody gotta work together. That's the ideal perspective. I think sometimes we get caught up of it's just my side, your side, but that coming togetherness is really what makes this world whole. You feel me?
Yes.
So everybody gotta come together and try. You know what I mean? Together to make shit work. I don't always agree with him. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he don't agree with me. But we gonna make this shit work. And then you know what's crazy? we end up making something that people are afraid to make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's less of them people doing that because everybody want to be in their own world. So we actually we try our best to make this shit work.
I love that.
So
You know
I was
what I'm
gonna say, I had a question about that. So how in the studio do y'all go about like taking the lead? Who starts an idea? If it is somebody who starts an idea, is it cohesive, or do you guys just go with it? Like,
I feel like it can go really anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just,
We kind of don't really have, like, when we get in the studio, we kind of just, we just start from scratch. And then if we start with a melody, we start with just going on the keys. If we start with a beat idea, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, we just start going to it. These are the guys that, you know, are really like producing it on the actual Pro Tools and the FLs and all of that stuff.
The technical side
You feel
of
me?
it.
So it's just like I know my strengths and I know where my value is. And at the end of the day, it's like it's all about being the most valuable asset in the situation. You feel me? To like create like an amazing song that's literally gonna last forever. You feel me? So it's like we really kind of go in there and then it's just like, yo, we just tap in with the higher and then we just create.
All right, so with that being said, where do you guys draw the line with copyright infringement?
When it's time for that.
we do what we want. We do what we want. We make it our own, and then you know if it gets out and someone has a problem with it and we have to take it down, we gotta take it down. That's it.
But most of the time, if it's hot, it's never a problem.
Nah, we definitely had some copyright infringements.
Oh, so y'all been there?
Yeah, we've been there.
That's why you're loyal on that ass.
That's true. So I'll be honest, I'm a heavy sampler. So a lot of it.
Oh, so you the problem?
Yeah, I just love samples. You know what I'm saying? I love sampling old music. I love taking something that was, you know, I'm a big fan of Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. And in the book, he talks about imagination and creative imagination and synthetic imagination. And creative imagination just comes straight from like an eternal source. But synthetic imagination is when you take something that's familiar and put it with something that's familiar and you create something new.
Innovation.
I love sampling.
It's like innovation versus invention.
Yeah. But you know what? It's crazy because the synthetic side of music sounds more holistic.
I know, but
when you sample something that's old,
but the title don't sound holistic. Synthetic, yeah.
All right, so but this when does it sound more?
It sounds more realistic when you're taking a sample and you're putting it over new drums. That's a different sound. That's something that's new. You feel me? You're taking the old and you're mixing with the new. That's better than just the old.
But what I mean, when is it?
That's subjective. That's subjective.
Evolution,
I understand it, but evolution doesn't mean better. Evolution is literally just adapting to the time.
Evolution is going upward.
Yeah, I get. Nah, to me, evolution doesn't have a direction.
Oh, but that's how.
In my perspective, that's just how I see it. Evolution doesn't have a direction.
Yeah, just go.
Evolution is adapting to change.
Yeah, you just have a direction.
Whatever way.
Exactly.
But it doesn't. But as long as it's evolving, it's not dying.
Yeah, no.
I understand, but that you can say that same.
Stays alive.
That's something you can bring the same argument to change.
But that's how
change
music
is
has
good,
always
but
been
change is
made.
always good.
Music has been like sampled from everything.
I get that.
Like even the Star Wars theme is sampled from Beethoven.
But my thing is
literally everything. Every hip hop song from the '90s up is all samples.
I actually have a question. I'm sorry, I have a question real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that being said, I want you to answer first, then you answer, right? What's your favorite era of music to sample?
My favorite era of music to sample has been the 70s.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right, you. I love the 70s. I've been jiving.
Yeah.
We've been listening to a lot of 70s. Yeah, so
You
yeah.
get all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get I think Blue Magic, you get all that, right? Like,
Yeah.
all of that time. That was good. Me Delphonics.
Yeah, you
There's
got some
nothing better
good
than
music
that.
from that then. And you, what's your favorite era to sample?
When I sample, I'm not big as a sampler as him, but I sample a lot of different like late '90s, early 2000s, even like rock shit. Like even some Marcus's first single was sampled from a Blink-182 song.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's fire.
Like so, but I do like the sample of the '70s. Like I grew up with my grandma playing the '70s music, so I love Earth, Wind and Fire and all that. I'll sample that all day. That's the best era of music ever.
I ain't gonna lie, that's arguably true, to be honest with you. Because to me, the 70s bring a vibe where music kind of reflect that era. And a lot. I'm not saying music don't reflect that era, but I feel like it brings a bigger visual of what was going on in the 70s. Like the beats, as soon as you hear that beat.
It was all live too.
Yeah.
You know why? But do you know
That's
that
the
right
vibe.
there? That's the reason why it was probably the best era. Because this is why I say the evolution of music with sampling and stuff like that can't be a better time because when you hear live instruments and people doing things live, it's
it's
a
a different.
whole other ball. It's a
behind
whole
those
soul
sounds.
behind that that's indescribable.
You can't recreate
But when
that.
you start copying things, and I'm not diminishing samples at all because sometimes somebody creates sample something that's soulful.
Because I was about to start talking about the producers that made some of those samples.
Make your ass cry, like you.
Exactly.
Bro, I listen to Big
When you
Ass
hear
The Plug.
song cry.
When I listen to Big Ass The
Like,
Plug
come on
album,
now.
I feel that shit, right? Because the soul samples behind it
What
is
album?
crazy. Big Ass The Plug.
Okay.
Bags of Plug. Take
I
Care. That
love
Take
that
Care
shit.
song, how he did
Oh
it,
my
Pieces
God.
Mafia, Stay Fly.
Exactly.
Like that's amazing. I've been bumping
The
that
Isley
today.
Brothers samples.
Mm.
Yeah, the Isley Brothers
It's
sample.
crazy.
So we love that because we're all hip hop, and hip hop started what in the 70s, right? 80s, 70s, 80s. You had the
just
first people
literally
Sugar Hill
taking
Gang.
loops and
So yeah, hip hop, hippity hop hop. Like that's
Yeah.
what we came. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a special time, man. From there on, it's been great.
I just think that there's a thing to live music and live instruments.
But
that
that's the
change
thing
the
with
game.
sampling. Like, say I can't play an instrument, I can sample someone who did, and the soul is still there. That's what makes it that great.
That's why I say it's better.
It's not though.
That's why I say subjective.
Because you can't play
That's why I
that.
say subjective.
Everything is subjective.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is why I say subjective in this manner, right? From the person who's creating it, of course you're gonna feel that way. But the person who has to consume it, remember, it's going against what we are already originally adapted to feel as good.
So can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite genre of music?
My favorite genre of music? I would say, to be real, dancehall.
I would say reggae.
To me, dancehall.
Roots reggae.
Yeah, I like dancehall, but not like every day. But to me, dancehall is kind of getting a little bit more reggae, depending on who you listen to. Am I wrong with that?
I don't know.
Like, what would you consider like Chronics?
That's dancehall music, but then
That's what I'm saying.
This is where I don't want I don't want to hurt my feelings, but this is where I start talking about the rap going into dancehall music because I don't see it to fit well with everything. So it bothers me when I hear
But you don't
them
think that
rapping.
like early like Shaba, like when he's like bouncing on the beat?
Yeah, that's
rapping.
dance. No,
It's like
not.
the same
it's,
thing.
it's DJ.
Kind of like rapping.
It's
though.
like
It's-
the
I
same
feel like
thing.
it is.
But I know what you're saying though. You like that? Okay, I understand.
Because
what
you
you're saying.
can't-
The character
this is-
of the DJ.
This is how I would translate it. You can't take everything a dancehall artist says and put it into rap form. It would not make sense. The
So
song.
what are the topics that they talk about?
I mean,
that
It's
wouldn't
not
make
about the
sense on-
topics.
on a-
It's the
on a-
rhythm.
But you
It's
can
the
say the
rhythm.
same thing about Spanish music.
You can. That's why it's a different genre.
And
Well, what? Yeah.
like when you hear Spanish rap, you can't translate that to the same thing in English.
You can. They be talking about the same shit.
I know,
You
but it
talking
don't
about the
sound. It don't
chains?
sound the
Yeah,
same.
they
It don't sound the same.
But
Like,
it
if you
does,
translate
though,
a different
but it
language.
does,
I know,
though.
but
it's
you-
just in a different
If
language.
you translate
That's the
Bad
point.
Bunny, does not hit the same.
Yeah, dude. It hits even better.
No, it don't not in English.
Yeah, it hits even crazy.
Oh nah, I heard it in English. It don't hit the same.
It
You know,
do.
you
Yeah,
ain't
that's
listening to
fire,
the right
bro.
song.
I don't know, bro. To me,
You
as
ain't
a
listening to the right
consumer,
song.
to me as a consumer, right, the best part about Spanish music is the fact that I can't understand it, but I feel like I know it.
That means you love music because you listen to it like how it sounds.
Yeah, like and I like what it gravitates to me because
Yeah.
to me, like that's why like I get how like when producers make beat, I can listen to that beat now and I understand when you're making it, you already had something envisioned in your brain when you're making it.
Sometimes it just be going there with the flow.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes
So you
it's
just
the
pop
way
out
it
of thin
goes.
ear?
Sometimes it'll be like we find like most of the time when I'm starting to make a beat, I'll just click through sounds until I find one that's interesting.
Really?
I don't have nothing in my mind.
You just want to make a beat.
And the sound will
Right.
just inspire me, and then I'll make something out of that, and then I'll just click through more sounds until I find something that sounds cool with that. And then
And for
go with
me,
that.
yeah, and I agree with him. Like that's the same thing. It just it's not always so strategic and spontaneous.
Yeah.
Like
It's just
I'll be
crazy.
watching a movie and I'll hear something playing in the movie. Like I was watching Butterfly Effect movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It's a good movie. And while I was watching it, there was a scene in there where I was just like, oh, I heard some dope strings, and I was like, well, I want those. So I just took those strings from that movie and sampled the beat out of it. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's I go
Inspiration.
off of anything that I like. I just go off of it and just start creating. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes even with writing, because we write too. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes, y'all do, because y'all are known for writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things y'all definitely known for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
so
right,
right,
these folks write all everything you hear from Marcus Rodriguez. These folks is helping.
All right, before we get into all that, let me just ask this basic question, just for my own personal, how did this link up happen?
The IZOP invited me to the studio one time when I was 16. I think it was 16. It was October 15th, 2018. I'll never forget it.
Damn.
It was that day. He discovered me. Yeah, I'll never forget that because he found me. Yo, craziest shit, bro. So like, it was like his neighbor was like over at my dad's facility one time, and my dad was playing like my music over the stereo, and he was like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "This is my son." He's like, "This Marcus?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "This ain't your son." He's like, "Yeah, this is my son singing." He was like, "Yo," he was like, "My neighbor is this artist named Donzio P in Middletown, and he wants, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I gotta connect." So then he had a conversation. P got on the phone with my dad. You know what I'm saying? And then, because I was like 16 at the time. It was like my dad was kind of like, the one got like talking and all that. You feel me? So, boom, one thing happened. I think he was on tour with Push at the time. And then he was like, "Yo,
I remember that because that was around when me and Don first started linking up because he was coming through the airport.
Oh, it's been a minute.
I know Don for since 2016.
Yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. When he was with Pusha T and doing his run with Pusha T, that's when I first met Don around there. Mm-hmm. And I actually still got a video and he shared it. I get it, not to sidetrack. This is how much I fuck with Don, right? I fuck with Don so much that when we got special bottles of Tito's at my job and it came with like certain costumes and stuff, they come like sweaters. Yeah. All I would do is, I would literally take one of those off and I would keep it in the side and wait for Don to fly back through and I would literally give it. Yeah.
That's
that.
I think we still got one of those.
Yeah. So that's what I did. Like, that's when I first
definitely put the Tito's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's when I first fell in love with it. So I understand where the what comes with being friends with that.
Yeah, because he was just really just like, "Yo, like pull up." You know what I'm saying? And then I pulled up and then met them. And then literally, the rest is history, really.
Okay. So how did y'all meet?
Long time ago.
Yeah, that was like
10 year plus? 10 plus?
Oh, no, more than that.
20? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, so this bond is pretty much unbreakable.
Damn, since I want to say it was 2000 and like, it's a minute ago. Like, it was mid 2000s. Something like that. 2005. Like 2005.
Damn.
God.
Damn.
Excuse me.
A W of friendship.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
I was 3-4.
When you said you was 16 in 2018, I was like, God damn, I'm old.
Yeah.
I graduated 7 years before that.
The crazy thing is we met through his brother, who was my best friend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm from Springfield, and my brother,
rest in peace,
he lived out here, and he went to school, and he met him through my brother popped up at the school as the white rapper. Shout out, my brother's name is Chris Blaze. Rest in peace. He was killed in 2011. But rest in peace, Chris Blaze. My brother, he went to school, and he was just like that white rapper. Literally the most fire shit you ever heard. I'll play some music after, and
it was amazing.
He'll blow your mind. But he pulled up to the school and everyone's like, "Yo, you tell the story, kid, because you was more there." So white rapper popped on the scene.
Yeah, so he popped up in my this is middle school, and I was battling everybody. I was at that point I was rapping. I was battling everybody. And he came in and he was like the dope rapper in the school and everybody wanted to hear him. You feel me? So we went to go battle and then we both had respect for each other. We didn't battle. We was like, we just gonna be friends and make music. So that's how we started making music. And then I met him. That's how he introduced me to his brother. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I met him and we've been locked in ever since. But my best friend, fortunately passed away during the midst of it. He was a really dope rapper. Mm-hmm. He was gonna be amazing. He died before his 21st birthday. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, Chris Blaze. Mm-hmm. We love you. Thank you for bringing me to him because I'm so grateful for this dude. This dude taught me so much musically. You know what I'm saying? That I'm grateful for because that's what happens when two people come together. They learn from each other. You feel me? And I learned a lot from him. So I'm always grateful to Blaze. We always pay homage to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a shot to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hell yeah.
Rest in peace.
To everyone we lost that we love.
Yeah, that we love.
But to me, when you hear stories like that, you hear people talk about you shouldn't attach the artist to the music, and then you hear stories like that, and it's like, how could you not?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it makes you appreciate the music more. Because when you hear that, you'd be like, yo, bro, we wouldn't even get the music y'all get without even that happening.
Yeah.
And we won't even understand to appreciate the music even more, where if that one little factor didn't play a part, we wouldn't be connecting through the music that you bring. Because people don't understand music connects us.
It brings a different level of
music is the one, probably one and only thing that brings people together.
Yeah.
I think that when you are born with the gift of music, you got to understand that at some point, like
music and food.
What it's really about. Food. But I mean, people like actually need food to like, you know what I'm saying? Actually,
but that's the point.
But
we need music too. That's a debatable argument right there. Like we need music.
But I mean, you know, thinking like as far as coming from my perspective, when I'm on the stage and I look out and I see everybody, all different types of colors, races, genders, sizes, wheelchairs. I'm seeing everybody. and everybody is singing and dancing for 45, 90 minutes. Ain't nobody thinking about what they look like. Ain't nobody thinking about where they come from. Ain't none of that.
Everybody friends at the moment. Some people become friends.
Yo, and that's the thing. And that's the power of music. You feel me? So it's like the way that I look at it is like if you can dance and sing together, then you can live together. That's one thing I'll say. If you can live together, you can love together.
Yeah. That's one thing I'll say about the appropriation argument. It's like I hear that argument, but it's like I think music is more powerful as a tool to unite instead of divide, and that's how I look at it everywhere. So it doesn't matter if you're a black country singer or if you're a fucking American Spanish singer. Like music's gonna unite if it's good.
If it's good. It's all about it if it's good.
Even if it's
good. When something's good, nobody will give a we give a pass on a lot of shit when it's good.
That's the key.
Real shit.
That's the key.
But appropriation goes so far.
It's like the vibration got to be right.
Yeah, the vibration got to be right.
That's what I be saying, bro. I'm like, man, how does what does it sound like? What does this feel like?
But that's what I tell people. Like that's what make a song good when it transcends audiences and it transcends genres.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So why when an NBA player make a good rap song, it don't go nowhere?
I'll tell you why. Because people hate on success. You can't be a successful rapper.
Nah, but
it's not a hate on success because it looks like appropriation. It's like, bro, you're an NBA player. Why are you rapping?
It's the same way why a rich rapper's son won't be taken serious as a rapper. Because
who are you speaking specifically about?
Anybody.
Like
because Shaq made an album, but that shit wasn't that good. Like D'Angelo
Ball, though? What's his name?
Shaq Diesel's
D'Angelo Ball's not really in the league.
He's not in the league. You talking about like Miles Bridges, Lonzo,
Damian Lillard?
Damian Lillard is fire.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like if it's good, nobody gets.
Why is it not on the radio?
People are hating on the
because
success.
Damian Lillard is not
mainstream.
I don't think because he doesn't want it. He doesn't really care.
It's because it's looked at as appropriation. It's you are an NBA player. Why are you rapping?
I don't think so.
That ain't appropriation.
That is appropriation.
No, it's not.
I just don't think nobody did it good enough.
Wait. No, I got a quick question real quick.
So shout out to Shaq. Shaq was really successful. Shaq Diesel was really successful, and he's a successful DJ.
I know, but
I actually saw him DJ live. He's amazing. So he did transcend that.
I know, but what I don't get with this whole conversation is how are we making the argument about a basketball player being a rapper, and then we have rappers that become basketball players? Is that not? To me, you can't.
Not NBA players.
Maybe it's because I'm in the real world.
Master P play basketball.
No, wait. Maybe because I'm in the real world and I don't understand shit. But why can't you make it in one career and have the money and resources to try something else that you want to do?
I really think it's because of hip hop has like you need to come from the struggle for people.
I get that.
So if you're already 100 million in and you try to make a rap song, people gonna look at you.
But they weren't that though.
But they are now.
I know, I get that. And also they also was rapping before they got into the league as well too. Just basketball was the first thing that paid the bills. Exactly. And then because basketball is the first thing to pay the bills, you're like, you know what? I can finance the studio now.
It's like the same thing in the streets. When someone's like in the streets and someone plays football or basketball, they a baller and they
you box them.
But it's like you look at them a certain way. Oh, you play ball, like go play that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's what I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I don't believe
exactly. Shut up and dribble. That's crazy.
I'm not saying I believe in it. But what I'm saying is that's what it's looked at like.
That's crazy.
Like yo, if you was already in the streets already. But you happen to make it to the NFL?
Yeah.
but that shit don't work out, so you go back to the streets.
Jimmy Butler.
Niggas like, yo, what you doing, bro? You was in the NFL. Nigga, that's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
But everybody gonna look at you like you're appropriating the street culture because you.
But you want to
made
know
it
what's
in a different way.
you want to know what's up. You know, and here's my take on this. And I don't know if it's like a
Yeah, this
controversial
could be the last
take.
thing. We can move on.
No. But I just, in all fairness, you know what I'm saying? Because I see it and I acknowledge it. But I feel like that's what holds my culture back. Because what we're so focused on what other people doing, what we doing, we should just focus on what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Because in other cultures, they don't care about who's doing what because they just feel how they feel. You know what I'm saying? They do what they do. I feel like it's us, like we be like so worried about, oh, is this person trying to take something that's from ours? Because you know what? We so used to not having enough. So it's that constant struggle where we just need to just allow. Honestly, it's actually somewhat beneficial when other people do what we do because it just brings more light to what we do.
I get that.
Yeah, this is a deeper conversation.
I get
But,
that.
but I hear you.
I
What
know.
I'm saying.
Because I was gonna hit you with a rebuttal real quick, a devil's advocate.
Yeah, I was
rebuttal.
too, but I was gonna.
But y'all want to move on though.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause this could drag out.
No,
It's a good conversation.
But I think it is. I think it's a good conversation because I'm African American. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
and it's a
But
good
I like that this melting pot because as much bad we want to say because we don't feel like our voice is being heard enough as compared to somebody who don't look like us. It's not bad because I love that we're coming together, bro, because it brings a lot of fucking beauty to the world.
Yeah.
And to me, if you're not arguing about it, and if you don't have two sides that's like on the fence on if this is great or not, then it's not even great to begin with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm being honest, bro. So it's like I like that we can be in the conversation to even have this type of thought because now we're setting the precedent of what's to come.
And it's like we all arguing about the same culture.
Literally.
So it's like we can sit here and disagree all we want, but we all love the same fucking culture. And we all gonna argue my fault. Our sentiments for the same culture. So
and we all gonna have our own contributions to it.
Exactly.
Regardless of the arguments we want. So and there's a lot of big white names in hip-hop.
Eminem is a GOAT.
Exactly. There's a lot of big white names in hip-hop.
One of the GOATs.
Which we don't want to to me, I don't like putting the race thing on it, but it's like I only talk about it because at some point you still do have to have that conversation. Absolutely. As much as you want to grow, we still want to be individuals and not be clouded in that generalization of conversations. That's the only reason I bring it up. Because sometimes there's have to be that one person just be like, nah, I'm gonna stick to my guns real quick. You gotta have that one person.